All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to call to order the Gladstone Community Center Advisory Board meeting on this Tuesday, June 16th, 2026 at 3:32 p.m. I will now read into the record that the City of Gladstone is abiding by guidelines set forth in House Bill 2560, which requires the governing body of the public body to extent reasonably possible to make all meetings accessible remotely through technological means and provide opportunity for members of general public to remotely submit oral and written testimony during meetings to extent in-person oral and written testimony is allowed. Therefore, this meeting will be open to the public, both in person and virtually using the Zoom platform. Haley, would you please do the roll call?
Joelle Laku, Sharon Howard,
Here.
Tony Bergeron,
Here.
Mindy Prosky,
Here.
Evelyn Johannesson,
Here.
Josie Whitaker,
Here.
Kiva Antilla.
Thank you. Could I please have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from our May 19th, 2026 meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you, Josie.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Sharon. Haley, can you call the vote, please?
Sharon Howard,
Yes.
Tony Bergeron,
Yes.
Mindy Prosky,
Yes.
Evelyn Johannesson,
Yes.
Josie Whitaker.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passed to approve the meeting minutes from the May 19th, 2026 meeting. Okay. Now we are going to go to business from the community center staff. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Mindy. All right, let's get into it. We have the May monthly report here that we included in the packet. I'll just quickly go through what we did in May. We've been up on our rentals, and we haven't really done, we plan on making a big push for our rentals, but we've been having at least a rental every single weekend, if not two. So our rentals are up. We did in May have our Mother's Day brunch that was sponsored by the Gladstone Seniors Foundation. Anybody that came knows that it was absolutely wonderful. Everyone wore their fancy hats and their beautiful dresses, and the foundation is just so supportive of these kinds of events for us. It was great. Monica did a great job in the kitchen, along with all the volunteers that helped her. We had volunteers bring in a hat collection. It was Downton Abbey themed, and it was just, we had also one of our volunteers who had made a Downton Abbey quilt out of all of the official quilt patterns from Downton Abbey that correlated with each of the characters in Downton Abbey. So that was really fun to have on display. May was Mental Health Awareness Month. And so in fashion, we always have NAMI come in 2 or 3 times during the month. We did do a widespread lunch and learn to just talk about the stigma of mental illness. We introduced our own here in the city of Gladstone. We have a mental health specialist. Her name's Misty. She works out of the police station. Come in and introduce herself to everyone and hand out business cards and just put a face to the name for that. We had our revolving art wall. One of our patrons, Dorothy, brought in just a really eclectic assortment of her art. We're going strong with Gleaners every Wednesday. That's been a really good partnership. They needed a place to house their distribution of their food boxes. And they are still looking for homebound seniors to adopt. So if anyone knows of a homebound senior, single and possibly double, they would like to add more people to the Gleaners team. They just need adoptees here in Gladstone. Something we're really pretty excited about, if you go below Gleaners, is our new bike rack. Public Works did a great job of clearing out that area, laying a cement slab, and then putting in a recycled bike rack that they had at Public Works. It's old, but it's perfect because we're now going to turn that into a community art project and paint it or just do something really fun. We're collecting ideas right now. So if you have any ideas on that, send them my way. The foundation also put on our first photo tour of Oregon. That the next part down there just talks about what we did for that. We had a lot of great giveaways of Oregon goods. And as you can see from that first picture, it was a pretty good turnout. We had about 25 people come. Every month we have our musicians come in, and we've just added a fourth musician. So now every single week we have live music. I attended one of our lunch and learns was the Vets Driving Vets. And then if you go down from there, I attended the Gladstone High School Connections Resource Fair, where the whole high school comes through and they get job connections, community connections, volunteer, all things. It was a great opportunity for, since we're not hiring, to seek out volunteers for the community festival, which we filled a lot of our spots for the bounce house for the community festival with high schoolers who are going to supervise these little tykes in the bounce house on August 1st. So it was, I was glad I attended. And then that just leads into our transportation. Michelle, again, just killing it on all the trips that she's been doing. It was nicer weather, so they did a lot of outdoor activities, hiking, lunches, stops for ice cream, all things. And then we had Colette come in and do an informational session. Just to refresh your guys' memory, we are partnering with Colette Travel from here moving forward. Our first two trips are going to be next year. One of them is to Spain and Madrid, and the other one is Ireland. And we already have 7 people signed up for the Ireland trip and 1 signed up for Spain. And we get 10% back from land and 10% back from air that we are putting towards. We had a 33% deficit with our homebound meals through Clackamas County, or basically the government, from our subrecipient grant that we get for the next 2 years. And so we're using that money to be able to continue with our home delivered meal program here in Gladstone. So it doesn't affect us or our transportation department. We're just trying to think of creative ways to kind of make up that 33% that we were getting from from our grant. So if you guys know anyone who wants to go, not only are you going to go on a great trip that's really reasonably priced, 10% of that's coming back to our local seniors. And then we finished off the month with our spring market. It was good. It was, we had quite a few people cancel the day of, but for the most part, the weather was a little iffy. But after talking to all the vendors and everyone who came, they still said they had a great time. And I didn't have any vendors. We put out a survey afterwards to just ask them their feedback. And we didn't have any, at least that told me that it wasn't worth it for them to come. They all said they still made a good amount of money and enjoyed being there. And then just the last page is just if any of you, for you that have been there, which is all of you, in the library, we always do a monthly culture or awareness board. So that was Kyla really has fun with these. She does all sorts of fun little crafts and stuff on this board to celebrate whatever's going on during the month. So that's that picture. Les Schwab, we got everyone out there with big thank you signs for those new tires that we got on the bus. We've had quite a few people that even today, someone came in, we didn't have room for them, but they wanted to play table tennis or ping pong. We don't have the space to put that out always, but it's actually, we decided to put it in the newsletter for the summer and have it out a lot more because we've been having a lot of people requesting to come in and play table tennis. And then there's Walt. If you guys haven't been by there, we have that beautiful new arbor, but we also, Walt built us another bench to go in our new secret garden that we're calling it. So that's May's monthly report. I'll kind of add to that for, well, yeah, I told you guys about Colette Travel already. And then for current and upcoming events, I'm going to add to that secret garden area that we had. Last weekend, we were chosen from the Rosarians from the Portland Rose Festival to be one of the recipients of their 3 roses that they plant every year, one in each place, a place of community impact. And so on Saturday, they all came out and Public Works did a great job and cleared out an area over in that same area. It was all just grass there before, so you guys have to definitely go check it out. And they made a little planter, and our first rose was planted by the Rosarians, and they did a blessing and a ceremony, and it actually made the news, 2 different news stations. So I can forward that to anyone who wants to see, because it's pretty cute. It was, I think it's the love song rose that's planted out there. It'll be 3 by 3, but we're thinking of probably saving that space because we could probably fit 2 more rose bushes right there. But maybe doing like special dedication, like thoughtfully planning the roses that we're going to put there, the vegetation that we're going to put there, since we're trying to really be thoughtful about that whole area as a whole. And then what else is going on? We have so much going on. We had a lunch and learn today. We had PGE come in, and not only did they talk to people about smart thermostats and how you could get one for basically free through PGE, we had PGE on site. Rachel came in and signed up people who needed billing or utility assistance right there at the center today. That's one huge benefit for coming down to the center, that if we don't know a resource, we can usually find it a lot quicker than I think people can searching through the internet or trying to figure out how to get things like utility assistance, all that paperwork filled out, and getting that done. And so that was a really great lunch and learn today. Earlier this month, we had the library come in and talk about their book program for homebound seniors. We sent that information out to homebound seniors, and then we provided the information at our lunch and learn that you can basically through the mail check out books. And so Nick talked about that and gave us all the resources for that. We had Clackamas County Utility Support, not just PGE, but all of Clackamas County come in at the beginning of the month. We're just trying to get people, the hotter it gets and the colder it gets in the winter, people are really crunched for, income. And so we're just trying to get all that support out there for people so that they can, have those resources available to them at the start of summer. We don't want anyone, being really hot in their house. So, or worrying about turning on that AC. And we do have a lot of homebound seniors who you walk in there and it's just sweltering. And it's because of those utility bills that they don't want to turn that on. We also did to plan for the heat this week. We have fans that we keep on hand, and we had all our volunteers go around. We called everyone, made sure that they knew where the cooling shelters were, that they could come into our center. We would pick them up, but we also handed out fans the beginning of this week or last week, the end of last week. We had the arts fair not last weekend, but the weekend before that. That went really well. We didn't do anything with that except provide our facility to them as a rental, a discounted rental. But and then just the support of, being able to assist them in any way we could. But that was the arts fair and Rotary that put that on. We also had another lunch and learn through Clackamas Fire, and they talked about house fires, and they really honed in on houses. If you have like fall factors, and if you have a cluttered house, and just kind of those ways to stay safe, I guess, and the kinds of calls that they get. So they talked a lot about that, of how to prevent having them have to come out. It was a good one. And then on Friday night, we had our first music on the greens. Beth Willis was there. We had Smokin' John's barbecue, and it was great. I would say, did any of you come? There was like 300 people around. We had a great time. I did learn that yard games are not the best idea for music on the greens with small children. So live and learn. We have our next Sights and Sounds of Music that's put on from the foundation. I was going to have Bonnie talk about that, but I do have the flyer. If anybody is interested, please come, bring a friend, bring a couple friends. But that's this Thursday at 5:30 at the center. And it should be a lot of fun. It looks really interesting, and especially if you love art and music. But we also have our first ever Father's Day barbecue that we're putting on Thursday at 5 as well. And so Kyla got Home Depot to donate these little toolkits. So father figures, grandfathers, uncles, they can bring whoever in and they can build stuff together. They're going to build a little planter, and we have all the soil and plants and everything. And Kyla's going to barbecue hot dogs and chips and drinks for them. And so, yeah, we're pretty excited about that. It's not a foundation event, but because of all the things they do for us, we were able to gather up some donations to be able to do that for the community. And then we're closed on Friday. And I'll just plug Rotary real quick. The 19th is their last community bingo for the summer. And that's from 5 to 8. So is the community bingo at the center for Rotary. That's all I got. Questions? It's actually been a really busy week or month.
Nice. Go ahead. Oh, I noticed that you put out, at least on my phone, I got a notification that you're going to hire someone to stay for events, on-call person.
Mhm.
And I think this is wonderful and worth mentioning.
Thank you for bringing that up. Yes. If you know of anyone or if yourself wants to be a site monitor, we do have a site. We've had Martha as our site monitor for a very long time. I want to say 30 years or something like that. But we are growing so much, and we also want to do evening events and classes that realistically, we have the three of us full time, but Monica's only quarter time. We need people to be able to come in and do those events on the weekends and in the evening. So we have that position currently open. It's on call, and yeah, you just go onto the city's website. It's posted there. Fill out the application. So we'll have that open at least to the end of the month. So yeah, thanks, Tony.
Fabulous. Does anybody else have any questions or comments for Michelle? No? That was a very busy month and a half for you. Okay, wonderful. Okay, well, I just have a couple of items from the board to one, remind everyone that we are about to enter our summer recess for the Gladstone Community Center Advisory Board. And that will be for the months of July and August. So we will not meet again until September 15th. Also, please check with Michelle to see if there are any holes in the shift coverage for the table at the Gladstone Community Festival. And if you are interested in volunteering at any of the other wonderful events that are going, it sounds like the bounce houses are covered now, but there might be, the dog show or something else that she could use some help with. So please check in with Michelle if you're able to volunteer at all. And then just another plug that, if you are on social media, please help the algorithm police by sharing and commenting on posts from the Gladstone Community Center. If you are not on social media, just talk to your friends. Tell them what's going on. Tell them about all the fun stuff because it really, I can't stress enough how much it really does help to get the word out to everybody in our community when we share what is going on. Go ahead. Yeah.
I completely spaced and I wanted to tell you guys one more just really great story for the month. We had our, on June 1st, you guys know we do the Pen Pal program and it's expanded not only from our homebound seniors, but to people at the center. And Evelyn, were you there on? No. Was it anyone here? No. We had the fifth graders come over and we did an ice cream social with them and they got to meet their pen pals that they've been writing back and forth with all year. And I didn't get to witness it, but I saw the pictures today and they were so precious. But the story I wanted to tell you guys is that one of the pen pal, one of the pen pals told me that their pen pal came to the center looking for them and they got their number and the mom called and the little girl wanted to talk to this lady and invite her to her fifth grade graduation. And no, it's so sweet. So she went, of course. And so the little girl ran from like where she was at graduation to give this person a hug and thank her for coming and then invited her to stay for ice cream at the graduation as well. And then the mother asked the pen pal if she could get, her contact information that her daughter wanted to stay in touch with her all summer, which I just thought was so darling, just the whole thing. And so it's just such an important program. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. So it was so beautiful when I heard that story about this little girl and her pen pal and how much. And so then the person, the pen pal that's at the center was going through and showing me all of her pictures of the little girl at her graduation. And it's just, it's special. I think it's just something really special that we have going on and it affects both sides greatly. Okay, that's it.
Oh my God, thank you for sharing that. That is like the sweetest thing. And I think it really, oh my gosh, I cannot think of like a better example of the crossing of generations that we were really striving for by making this into a community center, the spirit of generations. I mean, that says it all, that we're really just trying so hard to make this center inclusive of all in the community. And I have just loved the Pen Pal program. I think it's such an important program and I just love it so much. So that story is just adorable. I'm not going to cry. So
Wow.
thank you for sharing. I know I'm very emotional. But I just, it just is such a fantastic example of, why we do the things we do, at the center for the center, because it's important to the community. So thank you so much. Does anybody else have any questions, any comments, anything else from the board? Nope. All right, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting. Somebody.
I motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, Sharon.
I'll second that emotion. That's a song.
Thank you, Tony. Please call a vote, Haley.
Sharon Howard,
Yes.
Tony Bergeron,
Yes.
Mindy Prosky.
Yes.
Evelyn Johannesson,
Yes.
Josie Whitaker,
Yes.
Kiva Antilla.
Yes.
All right, meeting is adjourned at 3:57 p.m. And the next meeting will be on September 15th, 2026 at 3:30. Thanks, everyone.